Joining me now live on the South Shores Morning News, special guest, we have Plymouth County District Attorney Tim Cruz. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Good morning, Christine.
You know, I wanted to ask you a little bit about, this is something we've talked about in the past, and I know that's something you're doing again because you've had good results in it.
Right.
And this has to do with something I really don't know that much about, but I think it affects anybody who drives a car. Staged accidents.
Right.
It's kind of a business. And your office is part of a consortium of different groups that works to prevent this, which helps A, save lives, and B, keep premiums down.
Right. Yeah, we partner every year with the Auto Insurance Fraud Bureau of Massachusetts, IFB. They give us a small award, and we continue to work with them to fight automobile insurance fraud in Brockton throughout Plymouth County. It's been incredibly successful over the last 20 years. We've actually been doing it, and we've seen our numbers gone down. We've seen premiums gone down in our county as a result of going after individuals who were staging accidents and pretending they were hurt and jacking up costs.
Now, typically, how does that work? When you say stage an accident, are they like a group of people, they're pretending they're, oh, somebody hit me, and like, are both cars involved? Part of the whole scam? How does it work?
Yeah, usually, I mean, there'll be it could just be somebody that's a regular John Doe driving down the road, and all of a sudden he allegedly hit somebody, and everybody in one motor vehicle who's alleging they were rear end or whatever would say that their neck hurts, their back hurts. They would subsequently go to the hospital. They would generate medical bills. They would generate physical therapy bills. They would get over the appropriate barriers they have to get over, and then sue the driver for alleged negligence. And eventually, many times these cases are small amounts of money in the eyes of the insurance company. It's easier to move them than it is to contest them. So I think it's important that people understand that there are law enforcement that are watching these incidents right now, and they're doing investigations and prosecutions, and we work with this task force to make sure we can go after these individuals and prosecute them criminally. And as a result of what's been going on over the last 20 years or so throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the numbers have gone down significantly.
Now, when you say to move them, you mean settle for a small, to them, which is small amounts of cash, but I guess you get enough of these and it becomes profitable for the crooks.
Sure, I mean, you're dealing with insurance companies, and if they can foresee that it's going to cost them $5,000 to pay your lawyers to defend this versus getting rid of a case or moving a case for $2,000 or $3,000, I think you can expect that. And although that sounds like a small sum of money, when you do that over and over again, it becomes very expensive. And who pays that except all the people who are paying for their insurance out in the roadways?
Now, even though this is staged, it's not necessarily a victimless crime.
No, absolutely not. I mean, people can get hurt, and also all of us are paying money. And I think that's really what this comes down to. How do we stop this sort of fraud, and how do we also make sure that we pay a fair premium? This was occurring in most of the urban communities throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, 11 of them or so, which is why we initially started in Brockton, making sure that we could deal with the issues there. And if you recall, 10, 15, 20 years ago, many of the urban communities had all sorts of physical therapy places that were fly-by-night. They weren't legit. People were going to these things to generate the medical bills which they need to pass the thresholds of monies, alleged injuries that they have. And also individuals who may say that they have significant disabilities, and getting all those things put together as a normal case would have put together a civil case, a car accident case, putting those together. So I think that, by working together, we've been able to do the job, which is drive it down, and I think it's driven premiums down. I
remember, was it about 20 years ago, there was a woman that was actually an older woman, I think, is it Lawrence, was actually killed during one of these scams?
Yeah, she was killed in Lawrence in 2003, and that's really when the Insurance Fraud Bureau started they call it SCI-FI, the Community Insurance Fraud Initiative, the SCI-FI. And that's really what got this up and going, because there's obviously, in a stage accident, somebody got hurt and or killed. That's legitimate injuries, but it may not be a legitimate claim. So how can you make sure these things are put together, that you can investigate them, not just civilly for the monetary end of it, but also criminally? To make sure that people are held accountable for their actions. And I think that's what this really is, working with us, working with investigators, working with DA's offices across the Commonwealth. I think that has been a very effective on the criminal aspect of it, but it's overflowed into the civil world also, driving down premiums for people who are good law-abiding citizens who drive correctly.
If people have a question about this or think they may have been a victim from some kind of a scam like this, what's the best way to contact your office?
Yeah, you can always call us. We have an ADA on call all the time, 508-584-8120. If you need any more information from our office, PlymouthDA.com has all the information about the many different things that we do.
Thank you very much. That's Plymouth County District Attorney Tim Cruz. We've got got traffic and weather right after this. Traffic and weather.